Alright, listen, a bombshell was dropped in Vybz Kartel's Privy Council case today in the review of the, his murder case. It's before the Privy Council in the UK. People who don't know this, that is Jamaica's highest court. A lot of people are still to this day in 2024, February 14th, asking, how come Jamaica's highest court is in London in the UK? Well, there you have it, right? Take from that what you will. But Vybz Kartel has appealed his murder case along with all the other guys with him, Sean Stomp, Kahir, St. John, and the rest, right? They've all appealed their murder convictions. And a bombshell dropped today in that courtroom. Let's get to that. First of all, though, before we get to that, I'd like to say welcome back to the channel. Shout out to the people who've been riding with us on this. Shout out to the people who just tune in, even though you're not riding with us on this. It's all good. Just we have a difference of opinion, so let's keep it respectful regardless, right? Okay, first of all, let me say shout out to the Privy Council. This is how justice is delivered. This is what you call transparency. And now I am very worried for Jamaica because looking at how the Privy Council does stuff and then looking at Jamaica and how stuff is done in Jamaica, that kind of haberdashery, backdooring, all kind of mumbo jumbo, mixed up, word of mouth, he said, she said, to be held up in a court of law. I'm worried for Jamaica. I'm worried that Jamaica is pushing to get rid of certain aspects of the UK being involved in Jamaica's business. Now, if we do away with the Privy Council, we are you know the rest of the words. It's just sad to say, but it is true. It's like we can't govern ourselves, right? So, seeing what I saw today in court, I told you guys, I said, listen, other things are going to be coming out that most of us did not know before. The bombshell I will get to in a minute. First of all, though, or second, let me say to Isaac Buchanan, brother, you deserve every accolade that come your way. When you got up to speak today, you were so intricate and you were so eloquent. Your knowledge of the law, you can tell that you're somebody that actually loves law. Your knowledge of the law and your eloquent delivery, your pause, your control, the way you walked through that, man, I was proud. I was like, me I big up my chest enough because I'm like, yo, Jamaica, if I had 2 pot covers, I would have been knocking them like it was the Olympics. I was just proud to see how Isaac Buchanan was handling this case. God and time, man, really and truly God and time, and the right person get put in the right place to make the right things happen. Now, let's move on. As I've done before with the previous video, I have my paper here, so bear with me as I mumbo jumbo through this and then I'll hit the hard points when I get to the hard points. So this is Vybz Kartel's case before the Privy Council along with the rest of the guys, and this is day 1, but this is video part 2. The first video we did was where the attorney who a lot of people are questioning, does he have a speech impediment? You know, that Caucasian guy, white guy, whatever you want to call him, the British attorney. Off of him is how we did the first half of the video this morning. This second half has to do with after Isaac Buchanan got up and spoke and addressed the judges and made certain things clear. See? So the second half of day 1, Isaac Buchanan speaks. Paula Llewellyn is there doing her best to keep Kartel locked up. Hey, it's her job. She's a prosecutor, right? And this is the biggest case of her career. So, of course, she's over there in London at the Privy Council. She's in the background. And I was shocked when I saw her first because I thought she wasn't there. And then when I saw her, I was like, this is the whole trial all over again. Except for the guys who are accused. They are represented by attorneys in their presence and they themselves are not required to be there. But it's the whole thing all over again because they are rehashing almost everything all over again. Key things, by the way. So, I got him on tape, but the tape wasn't clear, so it never got played. That came from, I got him on tape but the tape wasn't clear, so it was never played. They were speaking about a juror that was supposed to be contaminating the jury pool by going around and asking other jurors to make a certain decision or to vote guilty or not guilty on his behalf, and he would give them a certain amount of money, right? Contaminating the jury pool. Now, the person, the whistleblower, the person who exposed this alleged person, this person, when asked, the man who is speaking on behalf of Jamaica's prosecution, he is standing in front of Paula Llewellyn and her cronies, and he looks like he is just batting at everything. I guess they said to him, do whatever you can to keep them where they are at. Because listening to him speak and the things that he was saying, even the parts where he was trying to read patois in the text messages and stuff, I'm like, this guy, it's not going over good with the judges in the Privy Council, because them not speak patois. So him reading patois and trying to, he himself couldn't translate what he was reading sometimes, right? Right. Now, the person who said I got him on tape, but the tape wasn't clear, so it was never played. If you remember correctly, that person said she got the guy on tape trying to offer her money for her vote, to vote guilty or not guilty, right? Okay. Nothing was said about the tape wasn't clear, so it was never played. What was, I followed this case the whole time. What was actually said, and y'all can go look this up, was that she went to New York on a shopping trip and left her purse or her bag with her phone or something. Somebody stole the phone off our countertop while she was in New York. So that phone containing the information where she said she has secret recordings of him trying to bribe them, that got lost in New York somewhere, right? That was the original story before we got to the UK. Now we in the UK, they're saying, I got him on tape, but the tape wasn't clear, so it never got played. Referring to the juror trying to bribe others, and I asked myself here, wasn't that phone the phone that was lost in New York when she went on some shopping trip? Suddenly the phone disappears, just like how them bulldoze the house? Yeah, okay. So Paula Llewellyn, in the background, getting excited. She is giving 2 thumbs up. One time they said something and she was like, yes, yes. You know, she's like, yes, yes. But then the blow came and her whole demeanor of her face changed. She giving thumbs up, shaking shoulders as the British representative attorney was bringing up reasons why it was beyond a reasonable doubt, as if they had proven their case. I told you all before, the prosecution in this case did not prove their case. Where they said stuff happened, they had no proof that it happened there. Therefore, you did not prove your case. If you say to somebody, SouFLoTV kill a man in a red BMW over there, the red BMW that is parked right there, and you go over there, you do all kinds of forensic dusting, testing, lighting, luminol, all this other stuff, and you can't find absolutely not one shred of evidence in there. There is no videotape that saw me go in or out of that car or anything. You have not proven your case. You need something to say that what you accuse me of actually happened that way. So, boom. Paula Llewellyn over there getting excited. I'm looking at her. I'm like, I don't know if she's really paying attention to what's going on. She's hoping, you know what I'm saying? Then he mentioned something about racist comments. And I was like, what the f is he talking about? Racist comments? He was actually talking about a separate case that he was trying to use as an analogy compared to what's going on in this case, which I thought was way the hell out the way, because nowhere in this case we have any issue concerning race or racism, right? Right. So the girl sitting next to Paula Llewellyn, I don't know who she is, but she looked like she's saying free Vybz Kartel. She looked like she's saying this is so unfair. She looks, her facial expressions at times says, I don't want to be here, but me have to die, right? Now, this guy that's representing them, Paula Llewellyn's side, the DPP, the prosecution side, but he is the British attorney in the Privy Council. He's trying to argue that it was okay to go with a tainted jury. He kept on trying to argue to make it justified to the judges in the Privy Council that it was okay to go with a tainted jury. The sound kept on cutting in and out. The picture kept on freezing, but I kept on watching. The judge said this could have prejudiced the decision in this case. Right. A rotten jury taints a whole jury pool. See, this is the bombshell. This is something that no matter what come up next, them can't get rid of this. This is a stain on the wall that they cannot get rid of. You hear what I'm telling you? This is a stain on the wall that they couldn't get rid of. Now, what I was telling you guys before, that things are going to come out that we did not know before. Because if I knew this before, I would have been telling my audience this before. Check it out. The guy that got prosecuted for tainting the jury, for perjury, for whatever charge that was. Did y'all know that the judge was made aware, and everybody was made aware in the case while the trial was going on, that this guy is trying to buy the jurors? I think it was like $500,000 offered for a verdict on his behalf, the verdict that he's going to tell them to vote or something. Right. You see, if you're paying attention to cases, pay attention to a case like the Y&W Melly case in the United States of America. As they prepare to go back to trial to try Y&W Melly for double murder again, this just happened in his case, the same situation. It came down the pipeline that there was a juror that was tainting the jury pool, that was probably saying stuff they shouldn't be saying, and communicating outside in ways they shouldn't be communicating. You know what the judge did? The judge first got rid of that juror, and then the judge came back and said, frig it. Get rid of the whole jury pool and give me a whole new set of 12 people. So that is what they are arguing now. How did the judge in this Vybz Kartel trial handle this particular incident of this individual who tainted the jury pool? Lo and behold, me never know this. I knew the story about him, but I thought he got kicked out. This man was allowed to sit on the jury for the whole trial, even up to the point where the decision was made when the jurors came back, and it was an 11-person jury, and the verdict was read, and the vote was 10-1. You don't have to guess who that one probably was. If he's the one that said not guilty, he's probably the only one that voted not guilty, and the other 10 people voted guilty. So now, Paula Llewellyn them, the DPP, they are trying to hold on to that verdict, and they're trying to say the verdict is still good, even though the jury pool is tainted. The judge looks at him after he gave his long explanation of how the verdict could still be upheld. The judge smirked. The judge said, are you serious? Like, there is no way for us to know what the outcome would have been had this incident not taken place, the bribery incident not taken place in the jury. Therefore, the right thing to have done was to probably have scratched that whole jury and start over a new jury. I know it was 60-something days into a trial, the longest trial in Jamaica's history. Everybody was tired and ready to go home, but that's what the right thing is that they should have done. You cannot arrive at a verdict with a tainted jury pool. You know what that says? That says this verdict cannot be upheld because of the way that they arrived at this verdict. Now remember, they are arguing multiple points. This is just one of them. They have another one where they're going to argue about the telecommunications and how it was accepted and why it shouldn't have been accepted by the judge into evidence. Large part of that was used to convict these guys, Kartel and the rest of the guys. But we're speaking specifically of the juror. Now, to put icing on this cake, that same juror, after the whole cartel case gone, everybody is convicted, why the Jamaica DPP went and prosecuted him for what he did at the trial and found him guilty and gave him prison time. Now, that tells you that he was guilty in their eyes from the beginning. So why the hell did you put a guilty guy, any suspicion of guilt of any kind of behavior, to have tainted the jury pool? Why did y'all keep him on the jury for the entire friggin' case? And then after the case done, try him later and get him locked up too. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. But this is Jamaica courthouse patty shop business for you, how they do stuff. And again, I'm saying thank God for the Privy Council, because I know now I see it. I was one of them that was like, get rid of England. Get England off everything that's Jamaican. Let us stand 100% independent. And no, not anymore. I'm watching this case unfold and I'm like, we need England. Because yeah, it look like we can't govern ourselves. Yeah, we have no accountability. And not only do we have no accountability, we like to cut corners. Let me clarify something. In all the years I've been covering the Vybz Kartel case intricately, I've said this over and over again. I said, I don't know if Vybz Kartel never do it, right? Kartel said he is maintaining his innocence. No blood is on my hands. I didn't do it. Okay, I'm rolling with that. But I am saying from me, I'm not saying he is innocent and he didn't do it, but I believe him. I'm only saying that because I wasn't there. So there's no way of me being 100% sure because I just wasn't there. But what I do know for a fact is this. I think what happened was Paula Llewellyn and the rest of them got together behind the scenes and they concocted something, and it was more or less, the energy was like this. Aha! Long time we wonder, boy. This one, we can't make it get wet. And they were willing to do almost everything and anything to secure a guilty verdict. And when they did that, they started cutting corners. They started violating constitutional rights. They started bringing stuff into evidence that was tampered, knowing that it was tampered. They started, go ahead with the jury, man. Go ahead with it. Yeah, we know that the jury pool is tainted, but still go ahead. Him probably not going to make it all the way to Privy Council. A whole heap of money and a whole heap of years that I got take. Well, here we are at Privy Council. Right. Had they done this fairly and had they shown me up front evidence that I could not refute, I would have rolled with it. I would have said, damn, boy, look like you get catch with the hand in the cookie jar still enough. But, you know, you do the crime, you have to go do the time. But this was never proven in this case. This case turned into a whole habatury. So if, for lack of a better word, if there is such a word. Now, anyway, the Privy Council already made their decision, in my opinion. And the reason why I think they already made their decision is because there is no way to get around a tainted jury pool. The judge erred in judgment big time, and it's going to cost them this case. Yes, it has cost Vybz Kartel over 10 years in prison, but it is going to ultimately cost the DPP, the Jamaica justice system, this particular case, because there is no absolutely, mark my words, there's absolutely no way that they can get around the tainted jury. Again, and on my words, it's what the judge said while watching them yesterday. The judge basically said this could have prejudiced the decision in this case. He said you don't know how somebody might have reacted to being bribed and might have voted. They were going to vote not guilty, but because somebody tried to bribe them, they said, frig it, and voted guilty. So there's no way. It's already tainted and it's something you can't bring back. That's why the proper thing to do was to have scrapped this jury and start with another jury, or at least remove that particular juror from the jury box, which they didn't. So people want to know what happens next. Somebody said, SouFLo, what happens next? Well, today is day 1. Tomorrow is day 2, the 15th. After day 2, the 15th, everything will be out on the table. I'm telling you, listen carefully, because tomorrow you're going to hear more stuff that you've never heard before. Me probably too. Now, while we're there, after tomorrow, we will go back into silence. And it will take about 2 to 3 months. These aren't my words. These are words that are published by the Privy Council. It will take about 2 to 3 months for them to arrive at a final decision. Okay? We don't know what the final decision will be. In my mind, I'm thinking there's no way they can get around the tainted jury pool, and the judge erred. The judge not erred, but erred in judgment in this case, so it's going to cost them the case, right? So 2 to 3 months from now, after tomorrow, is what we are going to hear. Somebody asked me today, well, what about the phone evidence and all that? SouFLo coming to hear them and say nothing about it. Well, remember that some things it was too late to submit and it was rejected by the Privy Council, right? But also, they couldn't give us everything on day one, my friend. That is why we have a day 2. So I encourage you to glue your eyes and ears to the TV screen tomorrow, or computer, or phone, or whatever, and listen. Cell phone data is off. No hard evidence to back circumstantial. Matter of fact, they kept on saying that there's no hard evidence to back any of these guys being involved in any of this. But okay, we'll keep going. The tainted jury pool, and the judge had knowledge of it and decided to proceed with the case anyways. This is why the verdict cannot be upheld. If Kartel is free, it means that Noel Maitland will be free as well. Somebody said that. No. I'm going to address that on a different video and break down for you why Noel Maitland, matter of fact, let me write it down. Why Noel Maitland cannot be free if Kartel is free. Because it's something. Pay attention. The cases are similar. No body. They don't have a body in Vybz Kartel case. They don't have a body in Noel Maitland's case. Them can't find Donnelly, right? Noel Maitland is maintaining his innocence, so is Vybz Kartel, but there is way more going on behind the scenes. Which, stay tuned for that video. I'm going to break it down for you. This is why I'm saying I am going to watch the Donnelly Donaldson trial unfold with Noel Maitland trial unfold. Because anyhow them give Noel Maitland anything less than what they gave Vybz Kartel, then you know for sure that Jamaica justice system is friggin' corrupted. But we already know that it is. So again, thank you to the Privy Council for allowing us to be able to see this. They could have closed their doors and had this behind the scene and throw us a verdict like you throw a hungry dog a bone. But they said, you know what? We want everybody to see this process. We have nothing to hide. No dog in this fight. We are going strictly by the laws, the books, and it has to be done that way. Mark my word. That decision to continue with a tainted juror that might have tainted the entire jury pool is going to be one of the biggest decisions, and they cannot go around that one. Hear what? I'll catch y'all on the next video. And for those of you who are still saying, SouFLo, where can I see it? Where can I see it? The first comment. Scroll all the way back up to the top of the first comment. I have it pinned right there. Click the link and I'll see you there in the morning. I'm out. Peace.